Sup you beautiful people. Hope you've had a fantastic day. Welcome back to another new episode of What If Naruto Was in the Marvel Universe. If you guys enjoy this what if, comment down below and let me know. And go ahead and check out other what ifs in the channel after watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, and also share this video with your friends. Before we get into it though, check out Bilibili Comics. Bilibili Comics is the official trusted place to read hit exclusive series from top creators. Bilibili Comics is a great online webtoons and webcomics reader among all reading apps. Enjoy the best new comics, manhwa, and exclusive webtoons on Bilibili Comics. Download the app now and jump right into it. The link is in the description. Now let's start this video. Triskelion, Washington DC. December 16, 2009, 21:20 local. Fury was trying to make sense of the report that Coulson had just handed over. In particular, this report was focused on one of the projects he had placed outside of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s control, a tandem project for the Avengers Initiative, Project Tahiti, or Terrestrialized Alien Host Integrative Tissue Induction. Fury thought of this project during the time he met Carol Danvers. He had figured out two crucial details in Marvel's notes in the space laboratory. First of all, Kree were hardy humanoid species capable of at least thrice the regeneration speed as Homo sapiens. Secondly, Kree had a similar DNA makeup to Homo sapiens. His scientists even discovered that the Kree DNA was the source of the anomalous genetic fragments found in human DNA. This basically confirmed that the enigmatic missing link was an alien. But discovering the origin of humankind was not his goal. It was the regenerative properties of the Kree. Fury acquired a heavily damaged Kree body from when Carol fought the accusers. He was able to hide and preserve the body through some of his private contacts. Good thing, too, since he now knew that S.H.I.E.L.D. was infected with Hydra. Liz Seaver, or patient number 3, survived the transfusion just like everyone else. And just like everyone else, he has exhibited some problematic mental episodes, presumably caused by the genetic memory of the GH35. Coulson reported. Subjects 1 through 3 are still going into some kind of trance and drawing some kind of symbols. Overall, the symbols they are drawing are slightly different from each other, with some overlaps. Are they able to function properly? Fury asked. Even if the subjects enter a trance from time to time, it was a small price to pay to keep them alive. Only the first few months, after that, they slowly descend into madness, placing more importance into drawing the symbols than taking care of themselves. Subject 1 needs to be put to sleep time to time, just so someone can put some nutrients into his body. Coulson answered with a little sadness in his voice. The sight of his fellow agents slowly losing their sense of self made him question the viability of the project. Fury released a grunt when he heard Coulson's answer. Any suggestions? I can only think of one solution, sir. Coulson said before pulling out another file packet from his arms, opening it, and placing it in front of Fury. That's an experimental procedure created by a doctor-scientist in California. It would completely wipe the memory of the patient after creating a copy of it. This procedure could also place false memories. Do it. Start with subject 1. Try to make it seem like he was just on an extended vacation if you can. Fury ordered, to which Coulson replied in affirmative. Coulson picked up the folders and said his goodbye. But before he could leave, Naruto dropped down from the ceiling. Boss sent me to tell you that Stark's mansion is under attack. The now assumed Naruto clone said calmly. What? Fury exclaimed while suddenly standing up from his chair. Coulson, send a counter-assault team to Stark Mansion now. Don't. The Naruto clone countered. Wait for the report. What do you mean, wait for the report? Fury asked with a raised eyebrow. There's no need to send a team for now since Boss and Tony are handling it. Naruto's clone replied. He wants you to sit and wait for a report of the attack to come in, since Boss knows for a fact that you sent a surveillance team to the wedding. Fury quickly understood the reason behind Naruto's request. He knew that there was a team near Stark Mansion, so, at the very least, he should know about it any second now due to the sensitive nature of this event. If, for some reason, he doesn't receive word of this incident or it takes a long time, then he could get some idea where there are some holdups in the communication ladder. Coulson, prepare a capture and containment crew as well as paramedics. Wait for my call before sending them out. Fury amended his previous order. Coulson nodded before leaving to do what he was ordered. Give me some details. There are 25 men. 24 of them are standard assault team. Tony should be taking care of them, no problem. Naruto answered. How about the last one? Boss is taking care of him, so no need to worry. The Naruto clone replied. Though if you want to know, the 25th guy is the Winter Soldier. Fuck. So, it really is Hydra, huh? Fury commented. You have any idea about what they want? He asked, reasonably sure of the answer. That's easy. They want Tony's suit. Naruto confirmed Fury's suspicion. They're just going about it in a roundabout manner, since it looks like the Winter Soldier's target is Pepper. A hostage. That might just work if you weren't there, of course. Boss is banging his head on the wall since he didn't see this one coming. the clone confessed. Ever since Hydra has gone underground, Boss has pulled back on a lot of their surveillance, only making sure to check in on them from time to time. I have got a feeling that there will be a lot more jobs in the future. Ha! Rookie move. Boss sent a swarm of clones to look into it. It turns out Hydra's science team sent the crew without notifying the higher-ups. Kind of understandable since communications dropped to a minimum. Naruto let out. One of the higher-ups heard about the mission, though, so one of them is in the control room. Tell me, where's Pierce? Damn it. I should have known. He said he had an emergency a few hours ago, and left with a reserve strike team. Fury exclaimed while slowly thinking about how to work to his advantage. Maybe get something from Pierce. Enough about that. We're just waiting for the boss to finish his fight with the soldier. Let's talk about something else. Like maybe Dr. Banner and the ever-stupid General Ross. The clone said with a grin. Don't. Fury promptly replied. He just hired a mercenary to capture Banner. Can you believe it? Trying to capture Banner while the guy is hiding in Rio. He ended with a groan. Have they found him? Not yet from what I can tell. They think he's somewhere in Mexico, which he was a year ago. It's just a matter of time before they find him. You going to send anybody to help the guy? Ross and I had an agreement. SHIELD will not interfere with the military in this matter, as long as they give us constant reports and give us access to Banner after they get him. Mostly to make sure they are not dissecting him or some shit. And here I thought you guys were the ones who wanted to open him up. Naruto clone joked, but it looked like Fury didn't appreciate it, judging by his expression. We won't even try to open him up. Even getting some biological samples might be out of the question. Fury replied. First of all, that's not how we do it at SHIELD. Naruto raised an eyebrow at Fury's statement, causing him to amend his statement. We are not supposed to. We normally just tag them and give them a contact. Secondly, Banner might just change during the procedure. So, that's the real reason then. Naruto said while nodding his head sagely. Either way, Ross and I never said that a third party couldn't interfere with their operation. Naruto flashed a mischievous grin. Don't worry, Nicholas. Fury's nose flared when he heard Naruto using his first name. I already have a plan brewing to help the guy in case something happens. I'm even planning on smuggling him back stateside. Please don't. Fury replied, almost pleadingly. I don't want a hulking green monster inside the country. Don't overreact. It's not going to be that bad. Naruto reassured with a wave of his hand. Besides, with how smart Banner is, he would have found a way back into the country if he wanted to, and Ross will be the one to get burned if something happens. He added before he suddenly focused on something. Call Coulson. They're almost done. Fury nodded before picking up his desk phone and dialing a number. You have green light. Stark Mansion, Long Island, New York. December 16, 2009, 2200 hours local. Naruto jumped a few feet in front of the downed Winter Soldier, who was struggling to get up. He was looking around the area, and he had a feeling that this fight would be a little surreal due to the still organized and intact wedding venue. He mentally created a list of goals that he wanted to accomplish in this encounter. First, he needed to make sure that Barnes escaped this fight. This was to make sure that Steve and Peggy would be the ones to help the guy. Secondly, the camera just had to go so he could keep Hydra in the dark. The Winter Soldier slowly stood up, the Super Soldier Serum working overtime to heal his injuries. As soon as he got up, he checked his abdomen as well as his arms and legs, before glaring at the masked man. Are you ready? Naruto asked with a wide grin under his mask. Sergeant Barnes didn't even try to continue the conversation and just pulled out a knife. The two just stared at each other, waiting for someone to make the first move, but it looked like Naruto's patience ran out first. The blonde ninja decided to take out the camera strapped by the side of his head. He threw a kunai aimed squarely at the forehead of the mechanical armed soldier. Barnes jumped out of the way, but Naruto was already expecting this, and launched a sharp kick aimed towards his head. The soldier got grazed by the side of the head, effectively destroying the camera. Oh? Did I break your camera, Sunshine? How about I break you next? Naruto teased with a sadistic grin, but the Winter Soldier remained stoic. Barnes rushed Naruto with the intent of a quick takedown, since it was clear that he couldn't win in a prolonged fight. He aimed a stab towards Naruto's temple, but his opponent blocked it, causing him to drop the knife into his other hand, and tried to stab again at the abdomen. Naruto anticipated the maneuver and grabbed a hold of the soldier's wrist. Seeing that they were virtually at a standstill, the Winter Soldier jumped and did a double dropkick that impacted Naruto's chest. This effectively created space between the two of them. That's rude. You don't just dropkick a person. Naruto groaned out, faking that he's hurt. It's unfair that you have a pointy thing. I want one too. Wait, I have one. He continued before pulling out a tri-pronged kunai. The Winter Soldier just stared at Naruto disinterestedly. He shifted his knife to his left hand and pulled out his pistol. Naruto flashed a grin at the Winter Soldier's action because it looked like he would now have some semblance of a fight. Barnes decided to make the first move this time. He fired a shot towards Naruto, but it was easily dodged, so he rushed him while firing through half of his clip. Naruto also ran at the Winter Soldier, but he was dodging or deflecting the bullets with his kunai. When they were finally within arm's reach of each other, they crossed blades. Sergeant Barnes had the upper hand though, since he would fire his pistol from time to time. This pushes the tempo of the fight in his favor, but it ended when he ran out of bullets, causing him to toss the gun away and shift the knife back to his right hand. He was using his metal arm to deflect Naruto's kunai, but the plate armor covering his arm was slowly getting stripped off. As for Naruto, he held himself back a lot throughout the fight, though a bit less than normal. It was upgrading from fighting an academy student to a genin if he was a Kage or even an Otsutsuki. Not much change, but a change nonetheless. Naruto was slowly getting bored of the fight, so he decided to end the battle and give Barnes a reason to retreat. He waited for Barnes to switch his knife to his metal hand again before making his move. When the Winter Soldier tossed his knife to his left hand and did a downward strike, Naruto deflected it with his kunai, so it harmlessly passed just in front of his face. Before Barnes could recover, Naruto did a leg sweep, effectively laying the soldier flat on his back. Naruto quickly grabbed onto the metal wrist while placing a knee onto Barnes' back. With a quick tug and twist, he pulled out the prosthetic arm. It looked like it was pretty painful too, since the usually stoic and silent soldier released a brief scream. He tossed it aside and grabbed a hold of both of Barnes' ankles, and threw him far out of the wedding grounds, effectively giving the guy a reason to escape. He used his Sharingan to look and see what Barnes was going to do. Naruto saw him make a call through his radio. After a few seconds, the Winter Soldier started marching towards the tree line. He created a clone and popped it, informing all of his clones about what had happened. That was too easy. Naruto mused before walking towards the metal arm and picking it up. He then used his Sharingan again to look in on how Tony was doing. It looks like he's also done too, huh? Naruto leisurely walked towards the front lawn while still carrying the arm. When he reached the front yard, he saw Tony dragging the knocked out assault team towards the fountain. He was sitting the guys around the fountain after making sure that he tossed their weapons away and destroyed their tech. Need help? Naruto asked, causing Tony to look up towards him. Nah. Tony replied through his suit speakers. Is everyone okay? Yep. Naruto answered, emphasizing the P. You can leave this to me. Check on Pepper and Morgan. You sure? Yeah. They must be worried about you. You can find them in the wine cellar. Naruto said. Tony nodded before walking back inside the house. You also might want to study this thing. He called out while waving the arm around. What the hell is that? An arm. I know that it's an arm. What are you doing with the metal arm? The guy that Miss Pepper earlier had this on him, so I took it off. Might be something that interests you. Tony released an audible groan before taking it from Naruto's hand. It was evident that Tony was a little weirded out due to him carrying the arm as far away from himself as possible. Naruto let out a chuckle seeing the awkward situation. Naruto finished up Tony's job of lining up the soldiers. He made sure that all of them would remain asleep by injecting them all with knockout drugs. He also took out his phone and took a photo of each of the members of the assault team. This could be used later by Fury, just in case this event gets lost in the mix. Even with how high profile this event was supposed to be, Shield Hydra might just sweep everything under the rug. The blonde ninja also took note of the tech that they had used, giving more focus to the communicators. He pocketed one of the intact ones before destroying the rest. A few minutes later, Rhodey, Happy, Tony, and Pepper, who was now wearing some sweats, walked out of the mansion. The other guests must have stayed inside the house. Where's the big bad? Rhodey asked, seeing that there are only 24 guys sat around the fountain. Got away. Lost his arm, though, so that's a plus. Naruto answered with a straight face. He ran back towards the tree line out back. Everyone bought the lie, seeing no reason for Naruto to lie. What are we going to do with them? Pepper inquired, giving the unconscious men some scathing look. She was miffed that someone tried to do something on her wedding day. She really didn't want to be one of those girls losing their minds when somebody ruined their wedding, but she could be forgiven after what happened today. I called Fury to pick these guys up. There should be a team coming anytime now. Naruto replied. Almost 10 minutes later, a caravan of SUVs and vans drove straight into the mansion. Naruto's grin dropped when he saw who was leading the team, Jasper Sitwell. I'm going inside the mansion. Naruto informed the group, which slightly surprised them. Whatever happens, don't trust the leader of that group. Call your attorney and your security team. Contact Fury too, just to be sure. The group tensed when they heard Naruto's statement. Tony and Rhodey flexed their hands to prepare for anything that might happen. Relax. He won't do anything blatant. I just want you guys to be alert. Naruto walked inside the mansion when he saw the group nod in understanding. Call Jeff and Kane. Tell them to come ASAP. After that, call Fury or Coulson, whoever answers first. Tony ordered Jarvis while still wearing his armor. Of course, sir. Jarvis replied. Sitwell walked towards the group while laying the unconscious men. He was able to legitimately intercept Coulson's order about the fiasco on Stark Mansion. Pierce also gave him the order to retrieve the men and, if not possible, dispose of everyone. He also made a mental note to ask about the blonde masked man that went inside. I'm Agent Sitwell. Fury sent me to make sure that everything's okay. Sitwell introduced himself. New York City, New York. January 30th, 2010, 1500 hours local. Natasha and Naruto are currently in a coffee shop a few blocks away from Hammer Industries' main office. For some reason, Justin Hammer decided to actually work and give some instructions to the research division. That's why Natasha and Naruto finally got to officially meet up while she's at work. So, the asshole introduced himself, then Tony said, Sitwell. Do you get sick when you stand up? Naruto barely finished telling his story before laughing hard. He, of course, used a version he could use in public. Natasha bowed her head and combed her hair over to hide her embarrassment. Naruto rarely gives a fuck what everyone else thinks of him. Natasha has also developed a thick skin for public opinion, or coworkers' opinion, due to her reputation, but Naruto's full-blown laughter is just a little too much. Everyone inside the cafe is looking at them weirdly. She basically just confirmed how bad it is to bring Naruto in a low-level infiltration mission. Naruto, honey, calm down. Natasha said while gently rubbing onto Naruto's arm until he settled down. It's not even that funny, Han. They can't use their normal term endearment due to the unlikely event that Hammer is having her monitored. Hey. It's funny. Especially the face Sitwell did when he heard it. It's like he's constipated or something. Naruto defended himself while simultaneously releasing a snicker. It's really not. Natasha countered while subtly releasing a smile. Anyway, how many creamers you have on your coffee? She asked, referring to agents and private security following them. 5. You know I like it creamy. Naruto answered while wagging his eyebrows. Natasha had to laugh at Naruto's blatant double entendre. Though you should place 3 sugar in your coffee. Why would you ever buy plain black coffee? Natasha raised her eyebrow when he heard Naruto's statement. She knows where the first 2 bugs came from. One is from S.H.I.E.L.D. for her protection, and another is from Hammer, the creepy asshole. Now, who the hell placed the 3rd bug? I like all types of coffee. That's one of the requirements to be a secretary. You have to like all types of coffee. Natasha replied while tapping a code on the table, signaling Naruto to hide their conversation without killing the bugs. And don't diss my coffee preferences. I saw you drinking black coffee too. That's premium roast coffee Alamid. You're supposed to drink it without anything added to it. Naruto answered with an indignant expression. You drank it while eating ramen. Your defense is invalid from the start. Natasha deadpanned. Naruto did a one-handed tiger seal and placed his hand flat on the table. Small black markings rapidly expanded from his hand until the circle markings just went past the couple before disappearing. Weirdly enough, no one except the both of them saw the black markings. Nobody would hear anything important. As far as everyone is concerned, we're just talking about how everything's going with some steamy flirting from time to time. Naruto informed with a wink. You're a man-child. I'm your man-child. Woe is me. Natasha replied, causing both of them to laugh after a moment of silence. Not that I don't love this little outing of ours, but what brought this on? Naruto asked. Can't I just have a coffee date with you, Souls? I would have believed you if we didn't just go to Rio last week. If we didn't know any better, Jess and I would have thought you were gay. Natasha told Naruto with a blank look. I mean, who leaves both of their girlfriends on a private beach, wearing some micro-bikinis to check on a lanky nerd on the run? Oh, come on. I already made it up to you, girls. You both were practically limping for 2 days. Naruto replied with almost pleading look. You're never going to let this, are you? Till death do us part. Ugh. Naruto groaned out. You're not even going to ask me about how Banner's doing. Natasha just stared dead into his eyes, which caused him to squirm. Please. Alright. Natasha finally relented, deciding that she already let him stew for long enough. What you got on the guy? Nothing pressing on Banner's side, but it looks like Mr. Blue is 3/4 of the way done with his research. Naruto answered. You finally figured how who Mr. Blue is, right? Yeah. We patched into their private network through the good doctor's laptop. We were able to send a tracking worm in their network, and it traced back to Greyburn College to one Dr. Samuel Stearns. Natasha replied. Nice. So, we can expect Banner to work his way to New York in a month or 2. Naruto surmised before frowning. His time frame would be tight as fuck. Ross is already in Panama. He's maybe a month away. The S.H.I.E.L.D. prepared for a Rio Warzone. Don't even joke about that. We can't even intervene if Ross fucked it up. Natasha said with a shake of her head. You know that they are going to fuck it up. For God's sake. They got Emil Blonsky. The guy is more bloodthirsty than I am, and that's saying something. Naruto's statement obviously caused Natasha to have a headache. Let's get off this topic for a while. How's work? I'm trying to get fired. Natasha confessed before smirking. That's why I asked you out today. Maybe Hammer would fire me when he confirms I'm in a relationship with someone. So, I'm the bait. That hurts. Naruto said with a pout. Well, I need to be fired without anything that he can hold over me. If I just fuck things up, Hammer might just use his brain and come after me. Natasha replied nonchalantly. Fury is already hinting on another mission. What the hell? How about Pepper's assistant gig? Naruto exclaimed. Sorry. I think he's going to send Agent 13 or Mockingbird. Natasha answered a little sadly. You know about General Vasily, right? You're going to intern for a pedophile, come on. Pepper's secretary is a whole lot better. Naruto tried to convince Natasha. I'm not the one who's choosing the missions, Solms. Natasha placated. If it makes you feel any better, you can help me clean up his network after I got the okay. Really, Naruto asked with a hopeful look, to which Natasha nodded too. In their 2-year-long relationship, she already mastered how to cheer the demigod ninja up, and it all boils down to mission, assassination, massacre, food, ramen, and sex. Since they're already eating and she's still a little weirded out when they have sex in public, so she decided to let him join her mission. Although, she's reasonably sure that he would be ecstatic when he sees her as Pepper's new assistant. It's bizarre how you are able to create sparkles come out of your eyes, and with the sunshine as your background. Natasha commented. Ha! You should have seen what Lee and Guy Sensei can do. Naruto replied with a slight shiver. Do I want to know? Natasha inquired with an incredulous look. No? You really don't? Naruto answered seriously before flashing an eager look. Want to see it? Yeah. Natasha mirrored his smile. Naruto revealed his Shinigami before staring straight into Natasha's eyes. He used Tsukiyomi to create a compilation of Lee and Guy moments, and flashing it straight into her brain. He knows that he should not abuse the most powerful eye in existence to show his girlfriend one of the most traumatic things in the multiverse for shits and giggles. But how the hell can he not try to see Nat's reaction to the unblockable genjutsu technique? The Tsukiyomi lasted only a second, but Naruto can clearly see when it stopped just by looking into Natasha's expression. Her face started distorted into a complicated expression. I regret every choice I made that led me to the one point in time. Natasha said, a haunted look. Imagine seeing that in person every time. I'm sorry. It's alright. I had years to get used to it. Naruto replied seriously. The couple stared at each other before they simultaneously started laughing out loud. Naruto moved from his seat in front of Natasha to the empty seat beside her. He then placed his arms around her waist and started snuggling her neck. Natasha leaned into Naruto and started running his hands through his hair. Okay? Not that I don't love you snuggling up to me, but what brought this on? Natasha asked. Can't I just do this because I love you? Naruto countered with his puppy dog eyes. I know you can and you will, but not this sudden. Natasha reasoned. Naruto released a sigh. Well, Hammer is on his way. Around a minute away. Naruto's statement caused Natasha's eyes to widen. I just want to mark what is mine. He bit Nat's pulse point at her neck, drawing a little bit of blood. She involuntarily released a moan. You have no problem with this, right? No? I don't believe I don't. Natasha let out in a sultry voice. Naruto straightened up and started making out with Nat hard, drawing attention from everyone in the cafe. The men are all looking at Naruto with a murderous glare, while the ladies are lightly panting from the softcore action going on in front of them. It's lucky that they sat at the far side of the room, and there were no underage kids in the cafe at the moment. Natasha swung her legs and mounted Naruto before continuing the making out. Their makeout session got so intense that their tails looked away from them. A few minutes later, 2 massive men in a suit walked into the cafe and looked around. They talked in their mic before a man wearing a grey 3-piece pinstripe suit with a god-awful orange tan walked in. This epitome of an egotistical asshole is none other than Justin Hammer, the CEO of Hammer Industries. He's a 5'8" Caucasian man with brown hair and brown eyes. He always carries himself with a particular type of swagger that causes people to either love or hate him instantly, more of a latter. The certified man-child was put on the helm of a tech company just after he got out of high school. Previously known as Hammer Technology, Justus Hammer, Justin's father, created the company with the express purpose of being the rival of Howard Stark. Justin Hammer followed his father's ideologies and repurposed the business to be a weapons manufacturing company, and changed the name to Stark Industries. All of this in order to change mirror the flourishing Stark Industries. He even managed to reinvent himself to be a carbon copy of Tony Stark himself. Basically, he doesn't have his own image. Hammer Industries is a self-proclaimed rival of Stark Industries. Self-proclaimed since Stark Industries has long surpassed Hammer Industries in all aspects. The small glimmer of hope for Hammer to outdo Stark during the weapon contract suspension fiasco has all but been purged the moment Tony Stark revealed his Iron Man suit. Not to mention the fact that Stark Industries has somehow bounced back, smelling like daisies and roses, after they re-upped and cleaned the whole company. They even managed to release an entirely new set of weapons systems that managed to outclass everything that's currently in the market. Justin Hammer can only think of one last thing that might be able to push Hammer Industries back in the spotlight, is his company creating and selling an Iron Man armor of his own. Stark has no intention of letting his suit be used by anyone other than him. The selfish thought Hammer can get behind, but the suit's sheer effectiveness on the battlefield would make any country's mouth water. If only his dumbest research department would be able to create even a working prototype. For God's sake, they almost managed to kill an Air Force pilot during one of their testings. Good thing they managed to sweep everything under the rug. He needs to contact somebody to try and fix the guy, or the pilot might just blow the whistle. His secretary is trying to reach a Dr. Stephen Strange, but the asshole is not answering for some reason. The reason Justin Hammer made an effort to go to the cafe is because of his secretary. He hired the fine piece of ass for one reason and one reason alone, to tap the hell out of that ass until he's tired of it. The fact that Natalie Rushman is a little overqualified for a secretary didn't even cross his mind when he saw her modeling pictures. So, when after almost a year of working his charm on Natalie and she didn't give him what he wants, he was ready to persuade her, even if it was repeatedly hinted that she's in a relationship. When Justin heard that Natalie would go on a coffee date with her mysterious boyfriend, he ordered his men to follow her. He also planted a bug on her just in case. He decided to drop by when his men confirmed that the guy she is with her boyfriend. Justin entered the cafe with his usual confident demeanor. He looked around and saw the familiar Reddit practically dry humping a dark-haired guy. He wanted just to pull Natalie off the guy and call his guards to politely escort the man of the premises, but cooler heads prevailed. Ahem. Hammer cleared his throat, but the couple kept on making out. Ahem. He cleared his throat again, and this time they separated. Natasha purposely ignored his boss trying to get their attention, but they can't just tune him out for long. She swung her legs out to get herself of Naruto before sitting back onto her seat, before pulling out her compact to clean herself up. She started by wiping off her messed up lipstick and ended with fixing her hair. She purposely took her time fixing herself up to rile up the asshole. Hey boss. Didn't see you there. Natasha said, acting surprised. What can I do for you, boss? She asked, completely innocent of what she was doing, not 2 minutes ago. Well, I was meeting a client down the block when the guy's here. Hammer said while pointing to his guards. Saw you here. So, I decided to introduce myself. I wouldn't want to be a bad boss, do I? That's sweet of you, boss man. Natasha replied with full sincerity before taking a glance at Naruto, who silently pointed to his hair. That's when she saw his hair slowly turning black. That's when she understood that he was using an illusion, everyone in the room except for herself the whole time to hide his identity. Let me introduce you to my fiancé, Nathan Ummer. She introduced to Hammer before turning her head back to Naruto. Han, meet my boss, Justin Hammer. Naruto stood up and walked around the table. He decided to show a friendly exterior while subtly transmitting a minuscule amount of killing intent. The disparity between the information processed by Hammer's conscious and subconscious was more than enough to intimidate the asshole. Hey. It's nice to finally put a face on the name. Naruto greeted. He can see a slight sheen of perspiration forming on Hammer's forehead. Oh? Nat has been talking about me, huh? Nothing bad, I hope. Hammer said with a smile, trying to cover his nervousness. Most of it. Naruto replied seriously, but Hammer took it as a joke. Come on, have a seat. Have your grunts order for you. He added before going back to his seat beside Natasha, which was certainly noticed by Hammer. Hammer moved to sit down to the seat where Naruto was previously sitting before calling over one of his guards. Brand, ice, sugar-free, decaf, caramel macchiato with soy milk, extra shot, and cream. Hammer whispered to his guard. Naruto and Natasha heard the order, and they had to force themselves to stop their eyes rolling. So, what do you do for a living? Me, I'm just a humble CEO of Hammer Industries. You know, one of the best military contractors in the world. I mean, I just came from a meeting that would net me several $1 million. Nothing big. He continued with a swagger, hoping to intimidate Naruto and impress Natalie. That's awesome. Naruto exclaimed with full excitement before getting a more contemplative look. Though I would never personally use Hammer Tech. They just jam too much. He added, causing Hammer to grimace. Oh, I forgot to answer your question. I'm in the business of private security and investigations. I just killed 22 guys in the past 3 days. He didn't kill anyone personally, but some of his clones cleaned out some counting houses in Colombia as a job for a captain of local police. Naruto had to contain a smirk when he saw Hammer suddenly pale. Just got back stateside last night. Justin Hammer cleared his throat before gathering himself back. So, you're private military? Hammer asked, trying to get as much detail as he can from the guy that's hindering him from tapping the fine Reddit. Though he still can't believe that he's doing this much for abroad, he would just throw away. I have an open recruitment in my circuit if you're interested. He might just be able to get rid of the guy by sending him into deep water, and he would be there to comfort his secretary as a good boss would do. Nah, I work alone. Don't want to mess with what's working so far. Naruto replied. Hammer cursed internally that his made-up plan didn't work. His guard arrived and handed over his coffee. He decided to retreat for now and create a more foolproof plan. Though, if that doesn't work, he might just need to let Natalie go. He still has other targets to go through. Anyway, I have to go for now. I still need to work on some stuff. Hammer said before standing up and looked at Natasha. Natalie, you don't need to come in for today and Monday. Have a great long weekend with your fiancé. Nathan, is it? Nice meeting you. He added before promptly leaving. As soon as he got out of the cafe and got inside of his SUV, he ordered one of his men. Look into that, Nathan Ummer. Find anything you can find and place it on my desk by tomorrow night. God damn. He's bigger of a douche than I thought. Naruto commented as soon as Hammer left the cafe. He must have really wanted to score with you if he didn't fire you right then and there. Too bad. He wouldn't be able to get anywhere near me, that slimy jackass. Look at the bright side, I have a long weekend. Natasha ended with a smile. That's certainly nice of him. Naruto replied, mirroring Natasha's smile before looking at the wall clock. Want to wait for Jess to get out and then go to Hawaii. New York City, New York. February 4th, 2009, 1900 hours local. I'm still surprised every time I see you in a suit. Natasha commented when she got out of her room. Naruto is wearing an open-button navy blue suit with a subtle checker pattern and a dark orange shirt with its top 3 buttons undone paired with black derby shoes. He turned around to look at Natasha and saw her wearing an oversized white shirt that hosed halfway down her thigh. Whether she's wearing underwear or not is up for debate. I know, right? I hate putting on these things. Naruto replied while trying to loosen up his collar. Is Jess ready? Almost. She's just finishing up. Naruto nodded before returning to his fidgeting. Natasha walked towards him and placed a hand on his arm. Calm down, Souls. It's like you haven't done anything like this before. It's because I haven't gone on a double date with one of my girlfriend's sister. Naruto answered. It's easy. Just imagine that it's like having dinner at Clint's place. Except we're in public and a high-class restaurant. Naruto countered. Though I don't know which one, but based on Jess's expression, it's somewhere I'll be surprised. Natasha's smile turned a bit more mischievous, which was certainly noticed by Naruto. You know something? He added while squinting his eyes. Yes, I do. But I promise you, it's nothing bad. Natasha answered, placating Naruto. Besides, Jessica has nothing to do with it. It's all her sister's plan. Naruto took out a thick deck of cards from his pocket, pulled Natasha with him to sit on the couch. I need your opinion on something. Naruto said as he handed over the deck of cards to Natasha. She took the deck and flipped through it. Which car should I go for? 3 years after building his bike, Naruto and his clones continued with his hobby of making personalized hyper vehicles on steroids. From bikes to Quinjet and everything in between, he already has some idea in building most of it. But the ones that caught his attention, or if an idea suddenly strikes him, he would make it from scratch, just like his bike. As expected, all his car builds have quickly filled up his warehouse garage. That's when he decided to create a new system to store his masterpieces, instead of buying new warehouses. What he came up with was the card garage system. Each card is made with an ultra-thin sheet of chakra metal engraved with storage, reading, color change seal, and chakra storage seal. Naruto had placed an information seal on all vehicles that have data on its specs with both standard and chakra enhanced modes. When the car is stored inside a card, the information seal would be read by the reading seal, with the details and appearance displayed on the card, using the color change runes. Naruto was convinced it's one of the best ideas he ever had, since Nad and Jess can seal and unseal a car, just using a drop of blood, and the spare chakra in the chakra storage. Have you finished some of your projects? This feels thicker. Natasha asked while looking through the cards. Yup. I finished the Ducati, Kawasaki, and Harley motorcycles. There's also a Ni Lambo and Porsche. Naruto answered. Let me borrow the Harley sometimes. Natasha asked while flashing a puppy-eyed look. Naruto nodded. He can't even think of a reason to say no, not that he wants to. How about this one? 69 GT500 convertible. Great choice, Haim. Naruto said as he took the GT500 card, leaving the rest of the deck with Natasha. Natasha stood up and sauntered over to the shelf, placing the deck near the top, prompting her to stand on her tiptoes just to reach it. That's when Naruto answered one of his questions if Natasha is wearing any underwear. The answer? A big fat no. He released an audible grunt causing Natasha to turn around and send a sexy wink. Damn temptress. Naruto whispered to himself, but it looks like Naruto heard it judging from her laugh. Don't give him a hard on Nat. I still need him for tonight. Jessica suddenly said from behind Naruto, causing Nad and Naruto to turn around. It's hard enough for him to agree right now. Naruto's mind froze when he saw what Jessica was wearing. She's wearing an elegant silver dress with her sides exposed, showing off her tight waist. She turned around, showing off her outfit. If anyone thinks the front is deadly enough, the back is practically a weapon of mass destruction. Basically, Jess is wearing a halter top style dress, leaving her back wholly uncovered. Naruto is sure that the backless design stopped just above her ass. After a few moments of silence and sitting in a daze, Naruto finally came back to the land of the living. God damn it. I'm sure you girls hate me. Naruto exclaimed, causing both of his girlfriends to flash him a questioning look. Your outfits are killing me. Natasha and Jessica looked at each other before laughing hard. Jessica walked over towards Naruto and pulled him up off the couch. "Don't be a crybaby. You know we love you too much," Jessica said as she looped her arms around Naruto's neck. "Besides, you're immortal." He adopted a petulant look. Jessica planted a peck on his lips, trying to soothe him. "Come on. We'll be late." Naruto just nodded, his mind still trying to make sense of what's happening. Natasha walked towards the pair and giving both of them a deep kiss. "Have fun, you two," Natasha told both of them before focusing on Jessica. "Make sure he doesn't do anything crazy. You might be fighting the triad at the end of the night if you don't place a tight leash on him," she added half seriously. "Hey, I resent that," Naruto interjected but was ignored by the girls. "Don't worry. We'll just go for dinner before going straight back home," Jessica replied before tugging on Naruto's sleeve. "Naruto, we need to go." "Alright," Naruto agreed. "We'll see you later, Nat," he said before giving her a quick hack and activating Hiraishin to transport Jessica and himself to the garage under Nat's personal studio. Naruto placed his arm around Jessica's waist to keep her steady, since he knows that Hiraishin landing can make someone unsteady on their feet, even more so that she's wearing fuck me pumps. "Thank you," Jessica said after she finally got her footing. Naruto placed a kiss on her cheek before pulling out the car storage card, pumping his chakra into it. When it started to emit a light blue glow, he faced the card facing away from him, until a puff of smoke appeared in front of the couple. When the smoke cloud dissipated, it revealed a glossy royal blue 1969 Shelby GT500 convertible with black stripes running down the center. If you pop the hood of this bad boy, you'll notice that instead of an old-school 428 V8 engine, it has a supercharged V12 engine. The front of the GT500 has been extended to accommodate the massive engine, and give space for the supercharger air intake. Just like any of his builds, there is more to the GT500 than meets the eye. Chakra metal and seals have been used anywhere possible. The piece de resistance was the inertial seal he used in the cabin, which he adopted from the Hiraishin seal. "I really want to use those babies," Jessica commented with a groan. Living with Natasha and Naruto for an extended period inevitably caused her to be a motorhead. "Why not? I leave most of the deck at the apartment. I even leave the B-2 bomber card there," Naruto asked. "First of all, I have no use of a souped-up bomber with what most likely be loaded by a real nuke," Jessica replied with a stern gaze. Naruto's suspicious whistling confirmed her statement. "Secondly, we're in New York. It's easier to take the subway." He was forced to agree with what she said. "Finally, I got in as a Type C scholarship for some reason. I can't show anything excessive, or I might lose it." Naruto can't correct Jessica's statement as it might confirm her suspicion that he just manipulated the system to get her in. On that note, he needs to make a sleeper car to give Jessica. Maybe a 1970 Mustang that has a false exterior or a 90s Japanese tuner. "Let's talk about that later." Naruto walked towards the driver's side door and opening it. "Come on. You said we need to hurry." Naruto and Jessica got inside the car before quickly driving off towards the streets. "You still haven't told me where we would go," Naruto told Jessica. "Let's head towards Midtown for now," Jessica replied with a mischievous smile. New York City, New York. February 4th, 2009, 2000 hours local. "I don't know if I should kiss you or not," Naruto deadpanned as he was waiting in line for the valet. "Miss Patsy, or rather Trish," Jessica corrected herself, "is the one that chose the restaurant. Besides, you love the food here." Naruto looked at her incredulously. "Of course, I love it," Naruto exclaimed. "That's my restaurant." Shakugakure, the famous fast food restaurant, has started to open up high-class versions in prime locations ever since the partial merger with Stark Industries. Naruto had to create a whole new menu when Stark mentioned the possibility of opening up a new type of Shakugakure. Critics said that even if Shakugakure has accomplished great success, it was still a fast food restaurant and can never compete as a high-class restaurant. Everyone changed their tune when the restaurant first opened. The newly opened restaurant quickly jumped through the rankings and becoming an accredited 5-star restaurant within a week, while acquiring 3 Michelin stars in their next update 3 months later. 3 minutes after Naruto and Jessica started to wait in line for the valet, it's finally their turn. Naruto got out of the car and walked around to open Jessica's door. The young couple had instantly drawn everyone's attention. Naruto shrugged off all the attention, but Jessica feels a little uncomfortable, causing her to stick closer to him. "Ignore them. It's just you and me, no one else," Naruto whispered to Jessica's ear, effectively calming her down. The pair walked inside the restaurant towards the maître after they took the valet ticket. Jessica moved in front of the reception. "Hi. Good evening. We're meeting someone," Jessica informed with a smile. "Of course. Who's the person you are meeting with and your name to confirm with our guest?" the maître asked. "Jessica Jones meeting Patricia Walker," Jess answered. "Please wait a moment as we confirm," the maître replied before talking into her radio. Naruto and Jessica were escorted into a waiting area. "Why are there only elevators down here?" Jessica asked, gesturing towards the only other noticeable feature of the floor, other than the reception booth. Tony left the designing the whole place smoothly to me. I even replaced the contractor with my clone, so I was able to change and upgrade a lot of stuff. Naruto started in a proud tone. Overall, all 10 high-class Shokugakure restaurants all over the world have one basic design. There's a 10-floor enclosed parking building and 25-floor restaurant, first floor receiving and dispatch, second floor waste recycling and disposal, third consumable food waste and overrun processing, fourth to fifth cold storage, sixth to seventh general food storage, 8th to 9th food processing and special food storage, 10th non-food storage, 11th cleaning and sanitation, 12th break room, 13th to 24th restaurant proper, and 25th security and penthouse. Jessica can't help but stare in awe at how extensive the restaurant was. She should have researched the place even a little bit. That's not even the best part, he added with an almost maniacal grin. What's the best part? Jessica automatically asked in a whisper. Everything no one else knows, even Tony. Jessica had a bad feeling when she saw Naruto's grin turn into a full-blown smile. Don't worry. I didn't use chakra metal and seals on this place. Then what did you do? Let's start with something simple and work our way to more complex stuff, Naruto said before gesturing towards the glass windows. The windows are made up of crystal clear 2-inch bulletproof glass, with 4-inch titanium alloy curtains at both sides of the windows. He pointed to the doors. The doors hold 10 inches titanium alloy gates. The pillars inside and outside the building have built-in modified phalanx machine guns. He then pointed towards the floor. Both buildings have a customary basement with nothing particular in it, but there are 5 more floors below it, with access tunnels, water purification and reclaimer, and arc reactors. However, most of the space is dedicated to vertical hydroponic farming. There are already some seeds in there. All it needs is someone to start it up. He took a moment to catch his breath. The food and essentials alone could last the restaurant at full capacity for 2 weeks. Jessica stayed silent for a few moments before turning towards Naruto. Why did you build a fort in the middle of Manhattan? Jessica said in an eerily flat voice, but Naruto didn't notice the tone. The construction of the building happened during my zombie binge phase, Naruto replied while scratching the back of his head. Jessica released a sigh. Zombies. Of course, Naruto would build an overkill of a fort because of zombies. We'll have a talk with Nat about this, Naruto. But for now, you're grounded from your computer setup. Naruto's demeanor dropped when he heard his punishment for building a zombie safe house. It's the logical thing to do. He was about to complain when a waiter approached them. Excuse me. Ms. Walker and company are waiting for you. I'll take you to them, the male server said. Naruto quickly turned his head to the waiter while delivering a small amount of color intent, which caused the server to take an unintentional step back. Jess tugged onto Naruto's arm to stop him from killing the guy unintentionally. Thank you, Jessica told the server with a smile. It was barely enough to calm him down. We'll follow you, she continued while pulling Naruto up from the seat. Her whiskered boyfriend was still sulking due to his temporary computer ban. The waiter gulped down to hide his nervousness before walking towards the elevators. Jessica looped her arm around Naruto's and led him to follow the waiter. The trio got out of the 20th floor. The mood was considerably lightened through the short elevator ride. All Jessica had to do was give random kisses and running her hands through Naruto's golden hair. Jessica looked in around the large restaurant floor. It has a modern, classy look, complete with a stage and dance floor. There are wide spaces between the tables preventing it from looking cluttered, while the server room and bar area are at the back of the room. The waiter led them around the tables towards the area where the booths with privacy walls and translucent crystal doors are set up. The server knocked on the door. A few seconds later, the door released a light green glow before the waiter opened the door. The couple immediately saw Trish and her date at one side of the spacious table, leaving the other side empty. Jess, what took you so long? Trish greeted her sister. She stood up from her seat and gave her a brief hug. Getting a little fancy now, are you, Trish? Jessica greeted back with a little teasing before moving to the side. Meet my boyfriend, Naruto Uzumaki. She introduced using his real name. Naruto walked forward and kissing the back of Trish's hand. Hi. I'm Naruto Uzumaki, and I'm here under protests. Naruto introduced himself with a broad smile contrasting his message. Jessica facepalmed while Trish adopted a strained smile before looking at her sister. Do I want to know? Trish asked. I just grounded him from playing with his computer. Don't mind him, Jessica answered exasperatedly. But my guildmates and I have a scheduled raid on Saturday, Naruto whined. Then you shouldn't have placed phalanx machine guns in the building. But they're awesome. With a fire rate of 10,000 rounds a minute, they could mow down 1 million zombies per minute, at least. You have 100 machine guns, Jessica exclaimed, not noticing the curious stare from her sister and date. That's it. You're grounded for 2 weeks. Naruto exaggeratedly dropped down to his knees and sent a silent scream to the heavens. Jessica's face turned the same color as Nat's. Trisha's trying to stop herself from releasing a full-blown laugh while her date decided to satisfy his curiosity. Excuse me, are you talking about a Vulcan phalanxes? Trisha's date asked. Naruto quickly recovered and stood up to his feet like nothing happened. He stared at the guy dead in the eyes. Alright, who are you, Jarhead? Can't you see I'm in pain since my girlfriend banned me from my warrior? Naruto asked, but the man just returned a disarming smile before standing up. Right? The man extended his hand towards Naruto. I'm Billy Russo, Marine Corps. Thanks for listening. I do hope you enjoyed. If you want the next part of this video, like, subscribe and comment down below, and turn on the bell notification. And also check out other videos that I have created and enjoy. See you in the next video. Peace.